What's going on, boys? No guys here, welcome back to another video. Of course, Euros are starting today, so very much looking forward to that. But just in case you want to know my tactics update for the weekend league, these are my tactics. I'm going to go through them each individually, explain each one, and don't forget each tactic has a video. I have a video on each tactic on my channel, so you're wondering, for example, how the 3-1-4-2 works, go ahead and check that out on my channel. To be completely honest, not that much has changed. I'll save you some time if you want to click away when you watched it 2-3 weeks ago. Not much has changed. I want you to be aware of some things. It might be worth, now listen, this is very rare that I would say this. It might be worth using drop back on a 4-2-3-1 just because every other rat is playing that way. I'm not going to do it. I'm not advising you to do it, but I'm just saying that's something that you can very much consider because there's no good people in the weekend league. I played for 2 years. I don't think I've ever faced anyone that doesn't abuse mechanics or doesn't park the bus. So feel free to use it in my opinion because everyone plays like rats anyway. So you might as well just join in. So everything's the same here. I have changed to long ball just because me personally, I don't use the 4-2-3-1 that much. It's a defensive formation and it's one to close the game out. But I always find that if I'm getting team pressed, I'm getting constricted as players are coming towards me. With team of the season, you have more players coming towards you, and that's the issue. If someone's got constant pressure, they're always up your ass, always coming to you all the time, guaranteed. So what I like to do is have long ball, and that way players make runs going forward. Yes, you can argue it's more difficult to defend with as players go away too quickly, but it's good if you just want to get out of the position, you want to make runs going forward or down the wing. The instructions are very much the same as well. Getting behind for the striker. I've introduced Nani into the team as well. Everyone's on the center edge of the box. Don't forget, this is the formation I used to close the game out. And I have Crespo and right back. Crespo normally gets subbed off, but he can get the job done in right back. It's fine. It's not the big end of the world. But that's the way my 4-2-3-1 lines up. That is if, for example, I'm going into a game. Maybe if I want to be conservative, I'll start with this formation. Or if I'm winning 2-0 and my opponent changes, this is important. My opponent changes to like a front four. And I've got a back three because I normally use a 3-5-2, but because obviously with a 3-5-2 you only have 3 defenders. If your opponent's like, okay, let me try to be smart now and use a 4-4-2, he's gonna have 4 strikers. So the idea is you have one formation where you have 4 defenders and you're not being aggressive. That's the whole idea behind the 4-2-3-1. So that is something for you to bear in mind. As we move over to the defensive formation, which is based on my normal formation in the defensive slot, ignore the actual slots, but we have balanced, we have 4, we've increased the depth to 7. I think I mentioned that last video that I was going to do it. Long ball, reduced the width by 1 because I play a bit narrower, and that's it, players in the box. Everything else is exactly the same. The only things I've removed is I got rid of stay central just because now I have 5-star, 5-star, 5-star in the front 3 players. Feel free to use stay central if you want to, but because I have 5-star, 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 and I move Ronaldo to the wing, I don't mind Ronaldo sometimes occupying Neymar's position or Nani's position, and Eto'o normally gets subbed off sometimes for someone like Vasquez anyway. So now my entire front 5, they can all shoot, so I don't mind them swapping positions. So that is something to bear in mind. But I got both the strikers all on. I got Nani on the guy. Don't forget, you can put this guy on comeback and defense. You want him to be more defensive. But I like to have all 3 of the players on stay forward. Again, if you're below gold 1, I'd recommend putting this guy on comeback and defense, just because it's quite hard to defend with only, because don't forget, you make a backline 5 and 2 centre mids. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Most people that watch this video can't defend with just 2 centre mids. They'll commit a player going forward and then they'll get bridged. So I'm just saying, be very specifically and be very, very careful. I would recommend comeback on defense. I put getting behind for Nani, not that important. I did the same with Ronaldo. Feel free to copy that if you want to. But everything else the same. Again, I'll pause that. You can put get into the box. That's one thing I've also done additionally, because now I kind of use, as I said, I've reduced the width. So what I do is the left mid and right mids, I use them solely as wingers now. So I like to cross the ball, a low driven, not a high ball cross, a low driven cross, or a pass from outside the box, edge of the box. So that's what I've kind of gone with, left mid and right mid, get into the box as well. Both CDMs, as I mentioned in my last video, one of the centre mids on get forward. Normally Crespo gets subbed off for Vasquez or someone else, so don't worry too much about that. And Cuadrado, Cole and Lacroix, I think that's how you say his name, all in the back 3, because don't forget I did change my team. So these are some changes I made for my team. Hopefully you understand why I made these changes, and that way you can copy them, if that makes sense. So if you have a similar team to mine, you'll understand. I'll show you the team in the end anyway. Pressure every touch. High width, high depth. This is again the formation I'll be using. So generally when I start the game, I'll use a 3-5-2. If I'm playing serious, I'll start with a 4-2-3-1. Suss my opponent out. I would stay on the 3-5-2 for the majority of the game. If I go 1-0 down, I may change to the 4-4-2, but most of the time I change on a 3-5, stay on a 3-5-2 because I'm good enough, I think, at my level to come back. If I'm struggling or my opponent's holding the ball, then I'll change to the 4-4-2. I'll only go back down to the 4-2-3-1 is if I'm winning 1 or 2-0 and my opponent changes to a 4-striker formation. That is important because everyone copies these tactics, but they don't know when to change to what formation. So I always get that question, when do I change? So that is when. So if I'm winning 2-0 and I feel like I'm struggling against my opponent's got 4 strikers up against my 3 defenders in a 3-5-2, then I'll change back to the 4-2-3-1. But let's say I'm losing now 1-0 or 2-0. I want to be a bit more attacking. I want to start pressing and then change to the 4-4-2. Pressing every touch. I got long ball as well. And this is my pressing formation. Now don't forget, you don't have to use constant pressure. The reason why I don't use constant pressure is sometimes I use this 4-4-2. You know, you ever seen those rats that play the ball and they start passing the ball backwards when they can go forwards and they just pass the ball around the back the entire game? Yeah, I hate those players. I get frustrated very much so. So what it is, this 4-4-2 I use as like I can use something for the entire game as well. So I don't want to use constant pressure. I use pressure on every touch. If I want to use constant pressure, I use team press sporadically and periodically throughout the game when I need to. So I can use a D-pad tactic team press if I want those players to go forward. Instructions are exactly the same. As I mentioned to you, I put both strikers on aggressive interceptions. I mentioned that last week. Stay central, of course, of both the strikers, just because both the left mid and right mid, I prefer, you know, the 2 5-star 5-stars in this formation to being strikers. Left mid, right mid, both on comeback and defense, unbalanced as well for everything else, default should I say. One centre mid on balance and the other one on comeback or stay back while attacking, because don't forget we're playing a 4-4-2 the flat formation. If you want a more defensive option, the 4-4-2 with the CDMs is a better option because, as I mentioned, you do have cut passing lanes with that one. The cut passing lanes does make a big difference when you are defending. The left back and right back are usual. They just stay back while attacking in a normal 4-4-2 flat. And that's one thing I would say to you. So you can use second variation if you want to. People always ask me that question. You know, I was getting a lot of DMs to that. Yes, but the 4-4-2, the flat variation, the centre mids are a bit higher. It's a bit easier for pressing, as you can see on the right hand side of the depiction. So you'll see that more in the game as well, especially with the centre mid on get forward. The get forward just a tad bit better. That's something just to bear in mind as well. And as I mentioned, both the left back and the right back, of course, on stay back while attacking. Then we go over to the ultra attacking blitz formation. Stay central, get it behind, stay forward. Both the strikers. These are my left centre mids and right centre mids. Don't forget that. Don't get that confused. Get forward on both of them and get into the box, cover centre. And then these are the left mid, right mids. Don't forget these are the wingers. I don't know why they're on that side. Again, it's a glitch with the formation. They're on stay forward, kind of side, get into the box, and of course activate all the D-pad tactics. I got one, the most defensive centre mid that's very fast. Cut past lane, step out attacking, cover centre. And 3 on step out attacking. Now the question we're going to ask me is. That's my anti-kickoff tactic, as I mentioned. That's just my balance. So before when the game starts, if I want to change to 3-5-2 normal, there's a period where the game kind of has that delay thing, like a transition period. So everything is unbalanced and everything is on 1. So this is if my opponent kicks off first, at least my team everyone's going to stay back while attacking. So my simmons on drop between defenders, so I don't get done from kickoff. That's only used for like a minute in the game. This is my team. This is my new team. I've ended up putting Nani in the team. I brought him along, and I've also brought along a towel. So we've got the 5-star. Crespo is just there as a placeholder because I haven't got any other coins to replace him. But I probably need an icon here and an icon here, and I ended up getting Lazaro in because I ended up packing his Lacrao. I think that's how you say his name. He's terrible, I'll be honest. His agility balance is not good enough. Hence why I say agility balance is important. And his work rates do let him down. You ideally want a high defensive work rate, but that's fine. You can get away with it, but agility and balance is not that good enough. He's good for most players, but if you're up against a top tier player using agile dribbling, you will struggle. Anyway, that's my tactics and instructions. Again, nothing has changed in the last 2 weeks, so that's why I didn't make the video in case you're asking. I don't want to make a video for no reason. It's not going to be anything productive. But anyway, thanks for watching, boys. Take it. Oh yeah, and I brought Noy in as goalkeeper as well. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.